Hi, everyone. Okay, so we've got three beautiful images in front of you. Go with the one that you feel the most guided towards. Please feel free to pause the video. I will give you 10 seconds to choose. That timer to choose, that countdown will start now. Okay, so if you were guided towards group number one, I just want to preface this reading by saying I'm really going with, whatever spirit wants to bring forth to you today. Do not be surprised if someone else comes through. I have seen that happen many times. You click on the reading for one person and it starts to feel like it's someone else okay? So just be very open. Very open, but I am very excited to do this reading. As most of you know, the past life readings are my thing. That is something I really enjoy. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm gonna first get an idea as to what happened here. I know you all are like, let's get to the sex. Yes, that will be last. Sorry, I need an idea of what happened. I want to get a feel for the connection, but I want the story. Okay, so we're going to just dive right in. So let's bring forth the messages that group one needs to hear, not the messages they want to hear. And let's bring it forth in a very clear and direct way so that I, as the interpreter, can interpret it to them. And please, Spirit, bring up the most important things they need to be aware of, in which they can kind of see almost like a repeating cycle or something that can open their eyes as to kind of why or what happened, why whatever happened between them and this person now. Now, I should have also said that you can watch this for your future person as well. I'll probably put that in the title too. But let's get into it. So give us the connection, and bear with me, I'm going to be drawing a lot of cards. Give me the connection, the history, what went down between the person who's watching and the person they have in mind, or the person they need to hear about today. Huh. Very interesting cards. Very, very, very interesting cards. I am going to say, just, in the meantime, this is looking very tragic. Not going to lie. Very tragic. I'm formulating what happened here, but quite sad. I'm going to take that one. Sorry, guys. I feel like you meet your person in this past life while you're, oh my God, I don't know why they want to say this, but like on a road trip. I mean, I don't know why they're using this word, but This is making sense just because I feel like, we didn't have, in this lifetime, there was no airplanes, okay? And I'm kind of open with the timelines, whether this is a future life, a past life, it's all consistent at the same time. This feels very like, with the horse and carriage. I actually feel like you meet during a war or when there's some sort of battle. And it is very romantic because I do feel like you find this person and I do feel like you nurse them to health. Okay, so there is something along the lines of like, I don't know why I'm so crazy with the way things are looking today. I don't usually do that, but give me a moment. Okay, I just want everything to look nice. I feel like you nurse this person to health, but there is a knowing when you meet that I'm trying to figure out what I'm seeing here and why I'm seeing like literally this is a waste of time. Like this is not something that can be. I do feel like your person is promised to someone else. I don't necessarily feel like you are in this life. And I do feel like you're a lot younger than them in the sense of maybe you being 18, 19, and they're like, I don't know, 30 or something. I also feel like, hold on here. Geez, there's so much coming through. I am seeing different, like religions. This is a religion thing. This is, yes, it could be like one is English, one is Irish, but there's also not just the ethnicity. This is in this time frame, this is about the religion and off limits to some extent. But I feel like when the both of you meet, okay, you feel it right away as opposed, I think they're actually wounded. I don't know that they feel it right away. I think as you nurse them to health, they start to fall in love with you, but it's like very consistently in the mind, like that, how some people, when they fall in love, there can be this kind of thing like, oh, I don't give a crap. I'm going to do whatever I want. I love that person and I'm going to go for it. The two of you it's very indoctrinated and it's very strict in the mind. Like I see it, I feel it. Like, yes, I'm attracted. Yes, I feel something, but equally so off limits. And actually, this is more so about the religion than the fact that this person is with someone else or even older, but you're a lot younger than them in this life. Like, I even want to go maybe 16. This person's older. And maybe this is also something here as well, too, where, the person's kind of like, okay, this person's like very young, They actually feel like, I can't believe how much I'm picking up here. This is like, I don't even need the cards. The cards were just like a window, an opening, and now it's all flooding through. This is coming, I feel like when I'm feeling what they're feeling, it's like, I wouldn't do that to this girl, And you are a girl in this life, so I don't care if you're a man watching, you're a girl. But it's like, no. Like, I'm not going to do that to this girl. She has her life ahead of her. I'm older. Like, why would I do that? Why would I rob her from that? They are very aware too that you're probably a virgin, and it's like, you deserve to be with someone your age, or you deserve to be with somebody who's available. So your person in this lifetime is very, they have a lot of like sensitivity, compassion. Some people are just takers. This person is very much caring about you and how you're gonna feel, and what things will mean to you and what you deserve and all that. Like they have that feeling for you, not wanting to ruin anything, for you. Now, I feel like this person stays like wherever this battle is, it's near your area. And I feel like they're there for a while, like months, but it's like the attraction is growing stronger and stronger. And there's a lot more of like this fight to keep someone's way about them very gentleman-like type thing. Sorry if I'm struggling for words. Your person gets a lot of mess in this meantime while they're with you. They're getting a lot of messages. They're getting a lot of downloads, you know, and whatever that looked like in that time, that they should go for it. And it's actually, I feel like, quite scary to the person that they're not even thinking. This person has okay, I'm getting more now. This person has a wife, they have a children, and they're kind of scared and shocked at, you know, how much they're not even thinking about them. I mean, I think they're thinking about them like that, like in a way, like, but it's like you're preoccupying their mind and they're taken aback by that. Like, this is not right, you know? I should be thinking about my wife and kids. You know, they have no idea where I am. I haven't come back. So it's a bit like they feel bad about this. They feel bad about this love that they have. And there could be a common theme in this time, you know, where there's a lot of fear, feeling bad. Maybe there's some issue with you being, you know, off limits or something, but it's not in the same way it was in the past. They do think about taking the leap, taking the step forward, a few times. The thing is, though, there's so much people around. They're being watched by a lot of people. You know, this is not something that is private, you know, between you and them. There's so much people around. So I don't know if this is like their soldiers, their, co-workers, like, I don't know what to call somebody, you know, who you're in an army with, okay? And then you've got your village there watching, and your village is very protective over you. You actually are very beautiful in this life, like stunning. It's actually even mind-boggling that you're in this village, because this village is not really that wealthy. But it's like the guy is looking at you like, what are you even doing here? Like, you look like you could be a queen or a princess. Like, you just look like you're just stunning. And you kind of don't match your surroundings, to be honest. You know, you've got a light about you. And they even feel like it's like, they know right off the bat you're very intelligent. And that you could probably, you know, do a lot of things in your life. Like, I'm even feeling like during the time that you spend together, there are some things shared between you. I don't know if you've got some books or you are reading the books and you've got like opinions and thoughts, but it's like they get the idea, wow, this person is full of life, you know, like different from everybody else. Like, you know, in that time frame, like you're not like everyone else. You've got a mind on you. It's very attractive. Okay, there's a lot coming now through with the sexual energy, but, you know, we are going to read on that in a bit. This is really hard for your person to contain. Like, they want to know what you look like underneath, like all of your attire. This is an urge that is really difficult to contain. And I do feel like now I'm seeing a little bit more as the story continues. At some point, there's one sexual experience that occurs. It is like we sneak away. It is by a waterfall. I see a waterfall and oh my God. Okay, so if you are guided towards group number 2, just want to say I'm very excited to do this reading, guys. If you've been around here for a while, you know I love the past life readings, okay? Now, I do want to put out a little, you know, disclaimer. Be very open, okay? You could be clicking on this video for someone in particular and someone else comes through. So just be very open, okay? I am going to be drawing from a lot of cards, so also bear with me. I know everybody is very, you know, Excited to get to the sexual part. That will be at the end, okay? I do need to get an idea of what happened, the history, what the connection felt like, and then we will look at that last, okay? So let's get into it. Let's bring forth the messages that group 2 needs to hear, not the messages they want to hear. And let's bring it forth in a very clear and direct way so that I, as the interpreter, can interpret it to them. What does this group need to know about their past life with their person or whoever you want to bring through, Spirit? It's crazy how I start drawing cards and then within the remote viewing, I start seeing, it's like a movie. And this is why I think I love these types of readings. Oh my God, this is so cool. I want to start talking, but I gotta get all of the cards out just to get the best idea of what's going on here. Okay. So in this lifetime, kind of interesting. I do like to talk about genders and, you know, who you were, who they were. With this reading, guys, I'm going to go both ways. You may have been the man or you may have been the woman. As I go forward, I will know, but I'm thinking maybe a lot of people chose this group. I have no idea. Let's just go for the sake of the reading that you are the woman, okay? So there's a big gathering. It feels like a courtyard. It feels like some sort of a courtyard, and I see a castle. Your person is... I do actually feel like your person's a king, okay? Now, they spot you right off the bat. They see you before you see them. But oh my goodness, with these two cards, with the High Priestess and the Eight of Swords, you are, like, if I'm looking at you, you're somebody who is somehow captured or just not in a great space. And I'm trying to find the words. Like, let me just go through what I think this is. You've got some sort of like low ranking in that society or wherever I am here. Like you could be saved. Like I could save, like I could feel like I would want to save, or like that person would need saving. So I don't know if you're honestly like, and just bear with me guys, you may not want to hear this, but I don't know if you are like a mistress, a prostitute, or someone who's brought to the castle. I feel like you are not in the best conditions, like, but I feel, I can't stop saying captured. You're captured. And I don't necessarily feel like you belong to someone else. I feel like you actually are like alone, you're single, but you are... Okay, this could also be like a very poor person who's in the marketplace or has to do some sort of hard labor. Something along those lines. And I feel like when your person spots you, it's like they have a come to God moment or something, or like this light bulb goes on with the hermit. Like something comes over them. I don't know that they're thinking about it too much in the moment, but it's like, I have to save this person, or I need to know who this person is, or I have to, I can't let this be. Your person is very aggressive in this lifetime. Very different from the energy of group one, but it's like your person, it's like they feel like it's my duty. I got to do something. I'm actually thinking, the more that I think about this, or the more that I see this, like within my remote viewing, I'm thinking you're a poor person. I mean, you could be, I don't know. I'm starting to move away from the prostitute thing, or a mistress. I think I'm seeing more like you, like with those bins of fruits, and it's like you're selling stuff, but you don't look like you're doing well. Like, I just feel like if I'm them, I know who you are in society. You're not well-to-do. You're struggling. You may even look a little bit ragged, to be honest, as well, too. Like, you just look like, your means, the way you live. It's kind of like, it's Eight of Swords. It's like, you could just tell the heart is life, the life is hard, or you're like, you look like a victim or something. A victim of life, not like where that person's sitting from. That person has plenty. They're clean. They've got nice clothes on, but I feel like they see you, and all of a sudden this thing, like, I got to save this person, or I have, oh my, like it's really intense. Like, what comes over them? It's like this, like, energy just pushed from them. The moment they lay eyes on you, it's like, I've got to do something. I've got to do something. I got to help this person. I'm not sensing so much yet the attraction yet. This is more like, I want to help this person. Now, I think they do think you're very pretty, very feminine. But this is more about helping. Yeah, even that Page of Cups, like extending help. Wheel of Fortune, that's exactly what you want to see in a past life reading as well, guys, because it just talks about the Wheel of Time, but it's also, I feel like with the Wheel of Fortune, kind of looks like a target to me, like honed in on a target. But also, it's like the wind being knocked out of me. It's like Wheel of Fortune can be a very powerful energy. This is why it's always equated to like sudden luck or a windfall, just that powerful out of nowhere, boom, like I wasn't expecting this type thing. Now, I feel like your person is married to someone, but it was arranged, okay? I do have the wedding here. Now, this is interesting. I'm trying to be very, I'm trying to tell the story very calmly, but I do want to jump to something. I think this person ends up leaving everything they've got to be with you. And I think you actually you end up being together in this life. That's the good news that I just want to jump to. But like, I'm going to go back to the story. But they leave behind everything and they end up being with you. Like, this is a success. This is not like group one. Group one was tragic as F, okay? Like, I even wanted to cry. This group is a bit different. I think this person finds ways. Now, I'm going to say something. In this time frame, your person has a lot more flexibility than if they were a woman, okay? Even if they're a king, they can do whatever they want. So them trying to find out information about you, or, asking their little, I don't know what you call them, their soldiers, their security about you, or trying to set up something with you, they can do that and they're not going to be in trouble, okay? Because I feel like that's what they immediately do. It's like they get this idea that I may not see this person again, and I feel like I'm seeing like whispering in their guards' ears and saying, find out who that person is. They also, I feel like, give you money right away. So there's not like a one-on-one meeting. They do it a little bit like sideways first. They don't approach you right away. They ask first their servants, guards, whatever you want to call them, to go to you, maybe buy your whole cart that day, just give you a little bit extra as well too. But also they tell them, find out where she lives. Okay. Now, I feel like when these guards approach you, you're very like, I think you allow them to buy your cart, but when you hear the where do you live part, you're like, there's fear. I feel like you did something wrong, or maybe this is a trick. You haven't had a good life in this life, okay? So you're very sketchy, very aware. It's not like pampered life and, just free for all and life is beautiful in a bubble, okay? You've been through some things. So you're like, oh man, why is the king's guards asking me that? So I think you lie about where you live, or I don't know what you do. Maybe no, I think you tell them, but it's not the right location. We've got fear here, by the way, afraid, uneasy, and suspicion, scared. We've got wedding, marriage, forever, the one, union. And then we've got party, celebration, event, public, social gathering. Here we've got you will win in the end, public attention, and SHITTING, where you eat. So yeah, now that's a bit of a bold move for you because, you don't lie to the king's guards, right? But I feel like this person, you actually never go back there. You're very afraid of what just happened. It's very suspicious, You are very suspicious of this encounter and them buying everything. Why would they want to buy everything? They have their own supply of food. Why are they buying my stuff? Like, what's that about? So you get real freaked out, and I don't think you ever show up there again. You find a new place to sell. So this person, they can't find you for a while. They can't find you for a while. And they do ask guards to go look for you. I don't know. They send a search team. It's very low key. I don't want to make this like a huge mission, but it's just like, hey, when you're there, look out for this person. So they can't find you for a bit. They can't find you for a bit. Now I'm asking my spirit guides to move me forward to see how this kind of culminates or what's going on here. Like what happens next? This is a long time that passes, guys, where you don't ever see each other again. Now you haven't seen this person yet. They've seen you. But there's years that go by. There's years that go by. But I'm trying to ask how you end up stumbling upon each other again. And it's kind of like not being shown to me. Okay. There's some sort of a party. I feel like where you met was an event place or a public social gathering. Yes. When this person first officially saw you, but this is a common theme throughout your encounters. You're constantly meeting each other like in public. There's nothing like, private about it. It's like you always bounce each other up somehow in public or an event. And that could be a common theme too, that, when you met this person in this life, there was always people around. Okay. So I feel like there's a gathering. It's actually for another king or some other predominant person in society's gathering. And I feel like, or event, and I feel like you go back there with the same intention to sell something, okay? Like your fruits, your vegetables. They see you again. This time they're like, F it. I'm not saying anybody. I'm going right up to this person. Okay, so if you're gravitated towards image 3, before we begin your reading, couple things to note, okay? Make sure you are keeping yourself wide open, okay? I have seen it before where you click on the reading for someone in particular and someone else comes through, okay? So just be very open. because you just never know who's going to come through. Okay. This is my favorite, absolute favorite type of reading to do. I love the past life readings. And if you guys have been here for a while, you know I'm really good at them. Okay. It's like, I don't know what it is about the past life readings, but my remote viewing capabilities it becomes like watching a movie. Okay. So we're going to get into the reading. Bear with me. I am going to be pulling cards from many decks. I know everybody is probably excited about the sexual intimacy part. That will be last, okay? I do need to get an idea of what happened between the two of you, the history, the connection, before I can tap into that, okay? So let's get into this reading. Let's bring forth the messages group 3 needs to be aware of, not the messages they want to be aware of. And let's bring it forth in a very clear and direct way so that I, as the interpreter, can interpret it to them. So show us what happened here, Spirit, between those that are watching and their person. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. In this life, your person literally saved you from a life of complacency. Is that a word? I think that's how you say it, right? Your person literally saved you from a life of complacency. Being complacent. So I'm already being, the window's opening. Okay, so I'm just going to start flowing with it. You meet this person when you're a child, okay? If it's not a child, it could be early teenage years. I'm not seeing after 13. I'm seeing anything before that. And I feel like that's when the connection is made. It strikes, it's hot, it's memorable. You never forget this person. But it's interesting. I don't know if it's because when you meet when you're younger, you're able to somehow deal with it. Because you know how like when we're younger, it's different. Our minds are different. We can kind of more cope through things, I feel like, than when we're an adult and we're kind of aware. So I feel like it's not hard for you to kind of move forward with your life, but you always remember them. But it's not like an aching pain or like sobbing every day. I think you get on in life, you move on, and you get to be like, I feel like a very beautiful young woman. And listen, you're not super rich in this life, but you've got something going on for yourself, okay? I actually feel like with this lifetime, it's more further than the other piles. Like I felt like in those other piles, I was channeling like maybe the 18th century or the 1700s. This life, I actually feel like it's the early 1900s. Early 1900s. Like, because you're a woman in this life and you're able to somehow have a little something for yourself. As opposed to, we know in the 1700s, girls couldn't go to school, they really couldn't, they had to rely on, literally a man or prostitution, okay? In this life, in the early 1900s, I feel like you've got something going on for yourself. Like, you've got a talent, or you can do something, you kind of can work, you can make money doing something, you've got some education. You're like well-to-do, but not like extremely famous or anything like that. And I do feel like you're the bee's knees in the sense of the community and, other people noticing and saying, hey, my son, you should meet with my son. You guys could be a really good power couple. Like, I do feel like there's, men, gentlemen callers who are interested in you, to be, a great team. Like, you're not like someone that nobody wants. You're actually, a lot of people want you. And I do feel like there's this rich guy that comes along and, you love him. You love him. I don't think you're deeply in love, but like, he's nice. He feels very soulmate to me. Hold on, I'm thirsty. And I'm dealing with acid reflux, so it's not my day today. He's nice. He's gentleman-like. He's gentle. He's not like trying to force himself. He's not an a-hole for that time period. He's actually very into like women's rights or, treating a woman with respect. And he's willing to do his share of stuff. And I think there's an engagement. There's a proposal. I think you are happy to, link up, okay? Be with this person. Now, I don't think you have children yet. I don't even think the wedding has really occurred. I mean, it may have, but I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing the courting, being together as like engaged, but I don't know that we have sealed the deal yet. There's parts of you in this life that actually function like you think you're very, like, you think you're living, but you're actually really not. There are aspects of you in this life that is like this, lights on, but no one's home. It's just, you don't really know it until that person from your past comes back. Now, I just want to go through the cards here so you understand what's here. We've got new love, honeymoon phase, childlike, moving on, new beginning, home, comfort, safety, belonging, shelter. And then we've got divine intervention, serendipity, catalyst, supernatural karma. We've got lights on, no one's home, set up to fail, and doormat energy. So I think you get on very well in society and stuff like that, but there's always this part of you that's like locked away. It's locked up. It's a part of you that you don't even know that you have. But you get on pretty well, so you don't even notice it, You've got like a good family, or there's family around, you have friends, you're a part of like a club, or you're just it's a day-to-day, okay? Day-to-day, you function very, very well. Now, hold on, I gotta get a grip on what I'm seeing here. I feel like this person remembers you, but they approach you. Like, they see you and they approach you. It feels like, okay, this is so crazy. You're handing out flyers, or you're handing out something. You're trying to get people involved in something. I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is a women's rights movement. I don't know what the heck this is, but it's some sort of movement. Like, you're trying to affect change, okay? And you turn around and boom, there he is. And it's like time stops, and it's like, just like I felt like I got the wind knocked out of me. And there he is, and he's looking at you, you're looking at him. It feels like forever passes, but it's like maybe 10 seconds. And then he's like, how are you? How have you been? And you're like, I'm good. But you're like, you really are taken aback. You don't know what the heck just happened. You really actually forgot about this person. I mean, I think they lived in your heart on, but you really had moved on since this childhood of knowing them. And they looking very dapper, very dapper. I'm seeing them in this like 1900, early 1910, just very strapping young man. I'm seeing that kind of hat, the top hat. And he's made a great, life for himself. He's well-to-do. He's, got something going on for himself. But it's funny because I feel like even in that moment of seeing him, it's almost like you're also feeling like this person just put like a wrench in your plan just by showing up. Like, what did you do by coming back? Like, oh, hell no. What is this? It's like, it's almost like energetically, like you coming back, you just threw a wrench in my whole, what looked like it was going to be this type of life or fairy tale, or, what I'm doing, what I'm committed to. And here you are showing up. What am I supposed to do with you now? Because it's that impactful, but I can feel it energetically as well too. Like you just threw a wrench in my plan. So they're like, trying to ask you like, the usual stuff, like, how have you been? What have you been up to? How's your mother? How's your father? And then somewhere along the lines, they say, hey, we should, have a coffee together. We should, I would like to follow this up. I would like to chat more with you. And you're like, it's funny. I feel like when you say yes, you're not in control of that because everything in your body's like, oh, no, no. But then you say yes, and you're even caught off guard, like, what the hell am I doing? Like, what am I doing? Why am I doing that? I'm a promised woman. I've got a lot of things on my plate, because I'm telling you, you're an activist somehow. And then you're like, but you're agreeing to it. And now you're a woman of your word. So you're like, I gotta go. I'm not going to leave the guy standing. So you meet. I feel like it's within days. You meet. And this guy's just chatting his head off. And you don't hear anything because you're so caught off guard by how like, he is so handsome, and he's creating a thrill in you that, you never felt before. And you're also comparing it in your head to like how you feel for the person that you're going to be marrying. And that's got you very confused. Sorry, I just have to keep drinking. Like, seriously, oh, hell no. What am I going to do? Because you're aware at this point that you don't have any control over yourself. Like, if this person said or took your hand and wanted to go off somewhere into the middle of a barn or something, like, you would go. Like, you're getting a really, like, early on an idea of, like, how you're feeling or how you are reacting to this person, and it's like, oh, because you're a very strong woman in this life. Like, you may even have a mouth on you, like, you know how to say no for your time period, like, you're not a people pleaser. But this guy, it's like you're a little lamb. You're like a little lamb. And I don't know that you feel that great about that. You don't really like that, really. You like to be in control. So he's just talking away. Honestly, you don't know what's he talking about. You're not even paying attention. And you stay there for hours with him until it closes. And then he's asking you again, would you like to have dinner tomorrow? And here you are like, okay. And then you're thinking in your head, like, what am I doing? And then you're thinking in your head too, like, I should tell him, I'm engaged. But at the same time, you don't want to tell him. This is very conflicting. This is very conflicting. So you go to the dinner. and it's beautiful. Like, I don't know where this person took you. Uh, I don't even think anybody knew about the place beforehand, but just because you choose a certain place, um, it's very romantic. It's like candlelit. There's no lights on. It's a very romantic theme. Like, everything about the ambiance, it's just making everything worse. And I think at this dinner, you end up telling them, you're engaged, but it's like they don't even see it. They're like, oh, okay. But in that moment, normally someone would maybe back off, but they're not doing that. And that's where you realize, I'm in trouble.